Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your December reading. I can tell you guys now that this is going to go very different than all other signs have gone up to this point. I literally can feel it. I've been struggling to do you guys reading for a couple of days now. And I'll get into that later because I really want to get into your cards. But it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. A lot going on. So let's just go ahead and step into these little cards here. Spirit, please give me clear and direct guidance for Capricorn. Spirit, anything they need to know, anything of utmost importance, I ask that that come to the forefront in this here reading, please, Spirit. Whew. And as always, Spirit, I know that you're good for it. And I thank you in advance. You know what I'm saying? Whew. This is interesting energy, Capricorn. Very interesting. Okay, central energy. It's the Eight of Wands. It's challenged by the King of Swords. Past influence, we have the Page of Pentacles. Underlying influence, we have the Nine of Wands. Interesting. Above energy, we have the Five of Swords and the reverse. And going forward, we have the Empress in the reverse. Okay. Here's the thing, Capricorn. There's a block of you guys moving forward. It has a lot to do with a spiritual disconnect, right? And this can manifest a bunch of different ways. For some of you, it's a spiritual disconnection, like a disconnection from spirituality, spirit, whatever, and ascension into a mind space, right? And it's almost and this can be as small or as big as it relates to your situation, but it's almost forsaking one's truth for someone else's, right? And this is what the root of the block is. Now, this could literally be an identity thing. It could be a lifestyle thing. And I mean, this can go as far back as, childhood. It could be a bad relationship. It could be a myriad of different things. But what you guys are tasked with is rebuilding. It's starting something new. But I feel that it's a desire to move forward, but it's not knowing how to do that. It's a mental conflict, right? But I feel all the elements are there. But it's almost feeling as if you've done so much into one direction, whether this is with a job, if it's with a person, like a relationship, whatever. And it's a hollow victory. It's like there's I got nothing out of this, is the sense that I'm feeling. But the thing that I'm seeing that's lacking here, that's blocked, it's all fire energy. So it's more or less, there's a need to act from one's inner inspiration, but one is acting instead in response to external situations and from confusion in one's mental space or influence from external mediums, right? So there's not really, one's not feeling abundant, one's not feeling fruitful, in so many words. This is so heavy, Capricorn, I'm not gonna lie to you. The thing that I was saying that this relates to, because it's a lack of clarity even for me. I've been struggling to do you guys reading for the last couple of days, and I talked about this on the community tab last night. And I shared a video that I did for y'all a year ago. And what I'm experiencing now is identical to what I experienced a year ago. From the approach to the reading and everything. Because I was supposed to do you guys After I did Aries. I was supposed to do you guys after I did Aries, but I ended up getting stiff neck. And I look at everything from a metaphysical standpoint, and that's not speaking your truth whenever you're having pain in your neck. But I've struggled with doing you guys reading because every time I would sit down, it's like I'm not hearing anything. But it's like at this moment, even looking at your cards, it's like I can see it, but I still can't see it. It's like I see the block, I see the confusion, but the only clarity that I see is the why that it's here. Because it's almost like you guys are in the right posture. You have the right resources. You're doing the right motions, but it's almost as if it's devoid of soul. You know what I mean? So it's almost like a person who decided to go to school, and this is just hypothetical of how I'm seeing this energy signature. It's like a person who decided to go to school for something just because that particular career makes $100,000 a year. There's no passion behind it. There's no conviction. There's no desire to do it. The only reason why one is doing it is solely for the money. And it's not to say that you're not really good at it, because it looks like, you know, like I said, you have all the tools and resources. You're in the right posture. But the reason why it's not bearing fruit is because it's not in alignment with your truth. You know what I mean? So it's showing up every day. It's playing a role. It's doing everything right. But it's like feeling hollow. You know what I mean? Feeling completely hollow. So despite how much money is made or how many awards are given or you know, how great everyone says that you are, you know what I mean? It's empty. And I mean, this could be the same with a career. It could be the same with a job that you're working, with a relationship that you're in. It's literally going through the motions, but it's hollow underneath it all. There's no true connection to it. And if I were to really push into it, what it would look like to me is if we went back to someone's rearing. It's almost as if a person being conditioned that this is what life's about. You know what I mean? You handle your responsibilities. You go to work. You pay your bills, and you be a contributing citizen to society. But the only thing that I'm seeing is a person that's giving. You know what I mean? And not in the sense of you literally like giving to people, but in the sense that you're exerting energy, but there's no reciprocity. Like you're not getting anything in return. And I'm not saying that in a sense that when we do stuff, we're supposed to, you know, get something like, oh, you know, I'm going to be nice to somebody because, you know, you owe me something now. Not that. It's just that when we are in alignment with our truth, right? And I'm saying truth in the sense of your belief system, your values, your ideology, your vision about life, that's receptive, right? So for example, it's like me doing these readings, or even everyone on the community tab that I talked to last night. It's just giving little messages to each person that was saying how they felt and just tapping into their energy and giving them a little message. That brought so much joy to my life. Doing these videos each month brings joy to my life. Doing personal readings brings joy to my life. Meeting with my clients at my office, that brings joy to my life. So even though I'm exerting force and I'm doing work, it's like I get something out of that because me giving to other people and seeing how that impacts their lives, gives them hope, inspires them to keep going. All of that is a gift to me. You see what I mean? But what I'm seeing for my Capricorns is that I'm seeing the energy signature of doing, of giving, of working, of exerting force, but there's nothing that's coming back to you. And whenever that happens, it's because the block lies in the fact that where you're doing from isn't from your place of truth, right? So it's not to say that it's with malice intent. You know what I mean? It's just not in alignment with your truth. And that's why I feel like with the Five of Swords being in y'all's conscious energy, it's like that's the reason why the Five of Swords in reverse being in you guys' conscious energy. That's why I feel it feels unfulfilling. It's a shallow victory. From the outside looking in, everything seems great. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a really great job, really nice house, a really nice spouse, whatever. It's like you should, be ecstatic. And you're probably like, yeah, but on the inside, I'm dying. You know what I mean? And it's because you guys aren't doing what's true to you. In so many words, it's like you're doing what someone else said should be true to you. And you're very committed to that, but you're unfulfilled. You know what I mean? So I think the fulfillment that you guys are seeking or desiring, it's not going to come from whatever this is that y'all are doing, in so many words. So it's kind of a need to really dig deep. And I mean, for some of you, I don't know if it's just a disconnect from spirit, but it just really feels like and then looking at all of this orange here is making me think about the sacral chakra. So, and with the sacral chakra, we're talking about, like your drive, like your desire, like your emotional space, like your sacral is where conviction comes from, like that passionate force behind whatever it is you're directing your energy towards. And I'm not seeing that. It's like I'm seeing that that's being blocked by logistics. You know what I mean? And that's literally why it's not bearing fruit. But I knew before I started you guys reading, I was going to have to clarify this, which is why I set this deck out to the side. I already knew this was about to pop. Oh, wow. And then the bottom of the deck, y'all have the Queen of Wands in the reverse. What Capricorns are doing, you're doing it for very practical and logical reasons, but it's not heartfelt. It's not. It's not. But I'm saying it's not, I want to stress it's not malicious. It's just you're not in alignment with your truth. But I really feel that this is a false belief that y'all have been conditioned into. It's almost like you've been told your whole life that this is what it is. This is what life is about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you listened, you buckled down, you did what you were supposed to do. And it's almost like trying to suppress the fact that you're unfulfilled, because it's like, and it reminds me of, I always use this example when similar things to this come up. The Lifetime movie about the singer Fantasia that was on American Idol. That whole movie, the only one part that stuck out to me that really spoke to me was when she got pregnant as a teenager. And her mother and her grandmother told her that her dreams are over. It's like, you're a mother now. You know? You got to give up on your dreams because now you have to take care of responsibilities. But, ultimately she didn't give up on herself, kept fighting, got on American Idol, blah, blah, blah. But that's the thing that I'm kind of seeing here. It's almost as if someone told you, like, something like that. Like, this isn't about your dreams anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not about what you want. It's not about, what you desire. It's like you need to take care of responsibilities. And I feel like you guys internalize that and you're doing that. But it's just so empty and unfulfilling. But it's denying that. You know what I mean? It's denying that because you feel almost as if you don't have a right to those things. And that's just not true. Things in our lives, we can reach external accolades or align with external expectations. Yeah, you can do that. But if you're not fulfilled in the long run, what's really the point? You can be successful, but being fulfilled is a totally different animal. It's like feeling fulfilled comes from within, and no external, socioeconomic status or stance, place, whatever. That's not going to give that to you. And seeing the Empress in the reverse going forward is not to say that you guys are resigned to this fate, but it's more or less, if one doesn't include what makes you happy into the stance that you're taking externally, you're never really going to feel abundant. And regardless of how much money you make or how successful you are, you know what I mean? It's like there's a need to nurture your desire, like the thing that was important to you way back when. You know what I mean? What is your idea of abundance or happiness or success or what have you? You know what I mean? And I think it's great because y'all have the skills to know how to get this done. I just feel like you're doing it in the wrong area. But I'm going to go ahead and clarify this for you all because it feels a lot foggy. It feels very foggy. You know what I mean? Okay, these two came out. All right, clarifying the Page of Pentacles, we have community and the 7th chakra. I love this. We have the community card, and we have the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. But that's the thing I'm seeing. When it comes to, with your past influence, when it comes to what it is that you guys put time, energy, and effort into, you put time, energy, and effort into something that was very practical. You know what I mean? Into something that someone else, and not necessarily just someone, but I mean something outside of yourself said this is the way to go. I don't really feel that one included what you know to be true again with the 7th chakra, because this comes down to inspiration. You know what I mean? Divine inspiration. So the challenge is here, talking about past tense energy. Whatever it is that you guys sowed seeds into, put your time, energy, and effort into, it was a fight between what you knew to be correct and what people around you, family, friends, spouse, whatever, people external to you, felt was correct, right? But what I'm feeling with this is, what's coming up now, right, is it's almost like, I don't know if it's an ending of something, a break in something. It's something where you guys have an opportunity to hop off of the path that you're on. So that could come in the form of something ending or, a new opportunity that's come in. But whatever the case is, it's a choice that you guys are needing to make, right? And it's almost as if you're being it. And wow, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Thank you, Spirit. This is amazing. That's why that reading from last year came up. So, if we go back to the reading I talked about last night on the community tab, right? This is just a little segue before I finish this out. We go back to that reading from last year, right? Those of you who resonate with that or don't, whatever, it's related to that. What Spirit is showing me is there is a choice that was made last year, and you chose to go in the direction of something that wasn't in alignment with your truth, right? So that's why it feels the same. This is so amazing. So whatever that was you guys experienced last year, and this is whether you resonate with that reading or not. With Capricorns that I'm talking to that resonate with this, it's a decision you made in 2018, and you chose a path that wasn't in alignment with your truth, but it was in alignment with someone else's, right? It's either friends, family, whatever. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is great. You should do that. This is what's best for you. And you chose that pathway, even though you may have had like an inkling that something isn't quite right here. I don't know. This doesn't really feel right. So it's more or less like choosing one's external environment. Like I was saying, it's choosing other people's opinions or what other people thought was best for you over what it is that Spirit was telling you. Because I feel it's almost like, and that's where it goes into the sacral chakra. I love how all this comes together. You had a gut feeling that something was off. So this could be someone you started dating, a job that you took, something you pursued, whatever. Last year, something in your gut did not feel right about it. So the thing is that that was more or less a warning sign. Now, if we go into like those low vibrational dark emotions and stuff, like I was talking about in that reading last year, that's the sign that you're out of alignment with your truth. When one feels overwhelmed and downtrodden and lost and dark, and I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing, I feel stagnated, I'm not happy, I'm unfulfilled. These are all red flags that you're out of alignment with spirit and you're out of alignment with your truth and what's in your highest good. So the opportunity that's being offered and why this is all coming full circle is because you're being offered the same opportunity that you were last time. Last time you choose in alignment with other people. This time, I mean, you could choose whatever you want because you have free will. But it's like you're being, and it may not be in the same situation and circumstance because this is the energy that's happening here. So the Capricorns I'm talking to, last year you chose a path not based on what it is that you wanted, but based on what other people thought was best for you, right? Or even in the beginning of the year, whatever. But the key is now you're being offered a way out of something that you chose that wasn't in your highest good, but benefited other people. So now you're being given an opportunity to choose what is in your highest good, right? But like I'm saying, you're still being offered the same options. You could choose what other people think is what's best for you or what you think is what's best for you. You have free will, so you can choose either path. But it's almost kind of like before you lies two paths, life and death. Choose life. You know what I mean? And life would be what's in your highest good. So this is more or less a challenge about you guys picking between your status quo and other people's status quo. But the thing that it's showing me is that up to this point, you've gotten a true experience, like a front row seat to what happens when you choose other people over yourself. It's like things are never going to pan out I'm not going to say, well, yeah, things are never going to pan out in your favor because the place from which you did them for wasn't for yourself. It was from someone else. So this feels almost to me like a contingency plan. It's the thought of, if I sacrifice myself for the benefit of this person or other people, it was the belief that in the future they would have paid you back, or they would have returned on what it is you've invested into them, or it ultimately would have worked in your favor in the future. But what I'm seeing here is you sacrificed something that was in your highest good for the benefit of another person or people. And now when this kind of fizzled out, or if the person left or you lost the job or whatever, it's being left feeling like jilted. But the lesson to learn in all of this is why you don't sacrifice yourself for other people. And this is getting deep, Capricorn, but I'm here for it. This is a repeated energetic pattern. And I don't know if this has anything to do with the whole, because y'all know, I don't know a lot about astrology. I am not an astrologer. You know what I'm saying? But I pay attention to little different shifts and stuff that are happening. But I think it's like Jupiter is in Capricorn now, I think. Like since the beginning of the month, like the 2nd of December or something like that. And a lot of this energy, I don't know, people who know about astrology, y'all know what I'm talking about. But that's the unrest everyone is feeling. I interpret it as, like I talked about last month, the energetic signatures I pick up as this sounds very biblical to me. That's how I understand things, like metaphysically and biblically. So that's why I was relating everything last month in November to chapter 6 in Revelation, right? Because that's like what all the energy signatures I'm seeing are aligned with. But what this is, it's more or less bringing up to the surface a pattern that you guys have had, like going way back. And it's a pattern of self-sacrifice. It's a pattern of choosing other people's ideals or sacrificing yourself for other people consistently. It's like a posture of a martyr, so to speak. It's never about what you want or what you desire. It's always forsaking your truth in service to someone else's. And this is a pattern that has gone on, whether it's been when you were a kid and it's, you know, trying to please your parents, when you're an adult, trying to please your partner, not following your dreams because you're trying to align with theirs, or if a person isn't treating you right, it's, you know, I'm just not going to say anything because they're probably right. It's suppressing everything in you. And that's why I feel it's like this cold, just empty, hollow feeling in life, and feeling completely unfulfilled because one has denied their truth, and there's a need to reconnect to that, or denied themselves. And it's a need to reconnect to that, because going forward, if you don't choose yourself, your life will continue to be unfruitful. You'll continue to be unfulfilled because you're manifesting someone else's truth. My apologies if that's repetitive. It's been 26 minutes, Capricorn. I hope that that makes sense, y'all. But the whole thing I'm seeing is it's repressing oneself. It's choosing logistics over creativity. It's choosing, you know, success over passion, outside instead of inside. And you're being given an opportunity to choose differently this time. You know what I mean? But it's just giving you a heads up. Like I say, 2 paths lie before you, life or death. Choose life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it would behoove you to choose yourself or your truth. Like, I mean, that would be a suggestion, but ultimately it's up to you. But I feel the Empress in the reverse going forward is here because it's letting you know how this is going to pan out. If you look back on your life and you see every single time that you've chosen another person over yourself, right? And how that worked out, you know how that's going to continue to work out. It's always worked out that way. That's how it's going to continue to work out. So until you choose yourself, you won't see abundance until you're acting from your truth, in so many words. But like I said, with that transit going on, it's like it's forcing a lot of people to face like your little arch nemesis that's been hidden all of this time. It's like all of the negative patterns in all of our lives. It's like those are the things that we are being forced to stare in the face. And that's why a lot of people are feeling a lot of lower vibrational emotions. And I hope everything I'm saying is making sense, Capricorn. I pray that it is. I'm going ahead and picking the 3 cards for the 3 groups in the extended, and then I'm going to pick a surrender card for y'all and go into the dice. So pick card 1, 2, or 3 if you're about that extended life. And if you're not, you can still pick card 1, 2, or 3 and see if you get any messages from these cards. But I really pray and hope that this is making sense. I really pray that this is making sense. I never know if it is, man. When I'm doing these readings, I'm like in a haze of information. So I'm praying that this makes sense. But the whole basis, that I apologize for it taking me 30 minutes to get to this, but it's just the whole basis of everything that I'm saying is you've spent most of your life choosing something outside of you, and you're being offered an opportunity to finally choose yourself, your truth, or what have you. But if you picked card number 1, we have compromise, and that's group 1. If you pick card number 2, wow, we have mind. That card is so heavy, and that's group 2. And if you pick card number 3, we have suppression. I'm just going to sit group 2 and group 3 right here. I'm just going to sit this here. Okay? See what this look like? This is what it is I see in my head. Like, I just want you to look at these two. Okay? Like, this is what it looks like to me in my head. All of the energy swirling around for Capricorn, this is very much it. That's the byproduct. Man. I'm going to sit these to the side for the extended. But the thing is that I want to tell you guys, you have the power. You do. I'm not going to lie to you. You have the power in this situation. I just feel that you need to be reminded of that. So it's not like this is going on and this is a situation in which one would feel helpless. But I mean, I also understand the vibe that I feel. Because see this? When I talk about sitting in you guys' energy, this is the feeling that I feel sitting in you guys' energy. Like, not tapping into the situational aspect, but it's like that's the foundation that I'm coming from doing this reading. Like, why I said in the beginning this is going to go totally different than the other readings have. Because that's like, it's the space of true authentic power is stillness, connection to spirit. And it's coming from this place. You know what I mean? It's channeling your will. Because if you notice, her solar plexus is lightened up, right? Our solar plexus is where we channel our will. It's how we direct our will. That's what the Wands cards are all about. And the power that influences that is our sacral chakra. So it's our emotional truth, our conviction, our passion, those things that are leading us forward. It's like that eternal flame within us, right? That's the fire that's directing how we choose to direct our energy from our solar plexus. And that is the true position of power. It's surrendering fully to spirit and being in stillness to where you create that balance between understanding and acting on that understanding, right? And that's the place of authority that you guys are to be seated in, because that's the way forward. But the thing is if we're moving forward without that, if we allow the logistics of the King of Swords energy devoid of the inspiration of passion and conviction, it's just doing this. Doing, accomplishing, living up to standards, but there's absolutely no heart and soul in it. And even though it could give you success, it can give you stability, security, notoriety. Like the Empress in reverse, it won't be fruitful or fulfilling on a soul level. I hope that makes sense, Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to surrender in December, Spirit? Man, Capricorn, this is serious. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, this is serious business. I'm literally sitting here thinking to myself, like, all the editing and everything that I've done for all the videos this month, like, for y'all, I'm legit, and y'all know I always post all the videos on Patreon before I post them on YouTube. But it's like a part of me is literally feeling like where y'all are at, I'm even feeling like I shouldn't even edit this. I feel like I shouldn't even have my Christmas sweater on because this is serious. And I mean, it very well could be because, like I say, with the history of my channel, there's always one sign where it's buku stuff that comes out, right? And it's usually because of some type of transit that's happening or a planet that's in that particular sign. And that's why the energy is magnified. But that's legit what it is, like I'm feeling for Capricorn. Like, this is so heavy that I feel like, you know what, like there shouldn't even be any other distraction other than just this message being out. You know what I mean? It's just so strange. I may have to do a collective reading. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because this is something. You guys, surrender card is surrender to play. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. So that's what I'm feeling, y'all. It's a lot of, and it's a corny colloquialism, but it's all work and no play. But I mean it in the sense of like, I mean, for some of you, it could be something as lighthearted as that as you're overworking. But how I'm really seeing this is play is directly aligned with the energy of joy. But I'm seeing all doing, no being. It's all filling roles and all of that. But it's like somewhere along the process, what means something to you has been lost. Like there is no play because there is no lightheartedness. It's almost like being enslaved to one's own life. And that's not a way to live. To be a prisoner to other people's ideals, whether it's societal, whether it's family, it's a partner, it's like to live a life devoid of purpose or fulfillment. That's death. Literally. That's hell. You know what I mean? Living a life in service to our lower mind or just human expectations. That's literally hell. And that would leave a person to feel extremely hollow. It's like that's not living, that's just existing. And that's a painful existence. And I feel for whoever this is for, man. Because I can't say that this is for all Capricorns. Because there's some Capricorns who are around here whistling Dixie right now. We're all in different places. But who this is for is like, this is a serious deal, dude. Like, life and death, like this is literally what death looks like. This is what it's like to still be breathing, but to be dead inside. And you don't have to live like that. You really don't. You really don't. That's not living. That's not what you were designed for. That's not what you were created for. It's like we're not, and I say that for anybody, if you're cross-watching or whatever, we were not created to live lives like this. It's making me emotional. Jeez. We were not created to live lives like this. And that hurts my heart to see a person oppressed like that. You know what I'm saying? To see a person oppressed like that or under that much pressure of thinking that other people are more important than you are, because it's just not true. God dang it. Y'all made me cry in the other reading. Last year, I literally went all of 2019 without crying, Capricorn. But that's just frustrating to me, man. I like each and every one of us, I think every healer in the world, you know, has a trigger. It's like you have a thing that just makes you tick, you know? And for me, it's seeing people live lives like that. Like seeing people not finding joy in the simple things in life or feeling like they can't live a fulfilled life. That hurts me. Dang it, Capricorn. I just want to throw up a dice of resonance. Ask a yes or no question. Ugh. I hate to see people enslaved. I hate to see that. I hate to see people believe that they have to be enslaved to a life that's unfulfilling or not in alignment with their truth. That hurts. Because it's just not true. That's not what the heck we were created for. We're not here to live like that. We're not here to be imprisoned and enslaved to some standard that's set by someone who knows no better than you do. That's no more intelligent, that's no more connected than you are. And to believe that that's just the way it is, that's just the way that I have to live. It's not. It's very oppressive. It's very oppressive. Ugh, I'm so sorry. Ugh. That is my trigger point, back nabbit. Oh my goodness. Capricorn, this is happening right now. This is really happening. I hope you answer your yes or no question. I need to throw these dice. Oh my God. This is so much for me right now. Choose life, Capricorn. Please choose life. You freaking deserve it. I said this last year. I'm so freaking serious. This is no way to live, dude. It's like that. I will go on a rant about this. There's no oxygen in that. And it's like, I just feel like I have to keep stressing and assuring you, like, that's not what life is supposed to be for anyone. It's just not. It's just not. It's like our experiences, they're intended for us to grow, but the whole thing is, it's like, you cannot gain power over these experiences. Even if you have challenges and obstacles in life, unless you're rooted and grounded in your connection with spirit, that's what changes your mind and your perception and how you think about things. But it's like, if you don't feel that you have any support from anything bigger than yourself, or that there's anyone bigger than you looking out for you, and meaning that in like an ethereal spiritual sense, it's like life is extremely oppressive. Extremely. It's just a series of unfortunate events that have no meaning. You know what I'm saying? They have no purpose. It's like there's no hope. You know what I mean? It's like all of these things are just happening, and there's some people who get it good and some people who don't. And if I'm one of those people who don't, it's like, this is just my lot in life. But something as simple, and I said that in Libra's reading, it's like purpose, a connection with God, dude, that completely changes everything. Because in a situation that without that you seem like you're at the will of life, you instantly have dominion over your situation and your circumstance in a clear pathway forward. And there's nothing that can ever knock you down or count you out, because you're coming from a place that already has authority over experience. You know? And it's like, that's a theme that I've been stressing for so many signs. I can't say that I'm stressing, but it's a theme that's been coming up that I stressed for so many signs. All the way back to literally September and October. It's like we've been saying the same thing here. And it's like, overall, it's a need to have a change of mind. That's why all of this stuff is happening. You know? And the change of mind is ascending to the higher mind, a spiritual consciousness. There's no other way for me to explain this. I can't explain this in a 3D kind of way. It's like, oh, you know, you just need to be more positive. It's like, nah, man. It's like, it's an awakening that's happening, and people needing to align to what is real about this whole thing that we call life. It's literally that deep. Not just for Capricorn, but for everyone. So like how I said in the beginning, that this is literally a mundane, I don't remember did I say that or did I think that? I don't remember, Capricorn. I think I said it, but I thought it, if I didn't say it. But it's like, what's happening here is a mundane manifestation of something deeper that's happening energetically. And it's experiences and people in your life that are taking the form of the true spiritual battle that's going on. And it's people taking the forms of what it is that all of us are really dealing with spiritually. And it's literally a battle between lower mind and higher mind. And giving you an opportunity to choose again. If you didn't know up to this point, what you were plugged into is like red pill, blue pill. It's like, you didn't know up to this point what you were plugged into. Now you know. Now which one are you going to choose? That's literally what it is. Okay. Anywho, the dice of resonance. The answer to your question was no. Okay. Then we have coworker and boss. We have Libra and we have Gemini. And both of these are screaming balance to me. And then we have rising. So no, Libra, Gemini, coworker, boss. I'm literally not going to edit this video. I'm really going to put this up as is. And I did that last year. So I don't know. Wherever you were last year, dude, whether it's in October, November, or December, the last quarter of 2018, this is literally history repeating itself. It's coming full circle. If you have to, do a timeline going from January of 2018 to December of 2018, and then January of 2019 to December of 2019, and see what patterns you pick up, because that's really what this is about. It's literally patterns. Literally patterns. Man, I feel exactly how I felt last year. I'm not even going to joke with you. I felt that way last year. I was like, man, people gonna think I done lost my mind. All right. We have Mars. We have Libra again. And then we have 3. Wow. Which is the Empress. And something I still have yet to do. I've never written anything down for Mars. But something I can tell you about Mars, it's the planet of action, right? So it's all about what you guys are going to be taking action in, or what you're taking action towards, which is everything that I literally said. Where are you taking action from? What's your basis? You know what I mean? I'm going to throw it again. Oh my God, and Mars came out again. When Spirit does this to me, it's like, remember I told you to write down something for Mars and you never did? Every time it comes out, I keep throwing the die and it'll keep showing up on Mars. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for not embarrassing me in front of my friends. I appreciate that. So the planet that came out is Saturn. Fascinating. And it says, calls attention to the importance of your life and experience on this physical plane. It calls your attention to the concentrated experience in learning, which can only be awarded to the soul via a physical experience. It is in the perceived absence of who I am not that we learn of who I am. Sorry. It is in the perceived absence of who I am that we learn who we are not. A soul only knows itself conceptually. So what it's talking about is the experience that we have here on Earth. In so many words, the philosophy that devoid of the human body, we are all knowing, all seeing, all being. But in order to experience everything that we are, we have to divide from the all, come into the realm of the dyad, the is, not, and the is, in so many words. Us being, a multifaceted being, which I like how our chakras represents. It's like we're physical body, but we're also spiritual body. But we're here in the absence of ourselves. So not all knowing, all seeing, all being. It's only so much that we know, right? And we're able to experience the absence of us in the presence of other people. Because you are who you are. Everybody else is not you. You know what I mean? So it's us having that human experience so that we can unfold and experience the fullness of who we are. That would be like the whole premise of this thing that we call life. Now, when we go back to what we're saying in you guys' cards, if you're suppressing who you are, then you're experiencing someone else's life and someone else's truth. And you would end your life never having experienced you. You know what I mean? So it's coming from this perspective of saying that all of this is about you. You know what I mean? Your life is not about pleasing other people. It's about pleasing you. And if you're not pleasing you, then what are you really doing? You know what I mean? And for the number 3, you guys, arcana for the month is the Empress, which was in reverse in your reading. And it says, your spirituality gives you strength, expansion, the creator, perseverance, and change agent. And it says creative inspiration, nurture the dreams of your life, transform and allow, birth it into life. Dude, it's all saying the same thing to me. It's suppressing what you're being led to do, what feels right to you, and it's giving that up in service to other people's. And you have an opportunity to choose differently this time, you know? But of course, how you choose going forward is totally up to you. So Capricorn, that has been your reading. There's a whole lot going on there. I love your face, and I will see you guys sooner than later. Deuces.